Hello guys and welcome. So I hope you remember about Scratch and all stuff. So today we'll be starting from the basics of Scratch and the easiest way of how to learn it. Now, you can just access that on the internet also, but for now I'm using the desktop version. So hope you guys don't mind that. And now if you open this for the first time, you'll just see something like this. So there'll be this title, then there'll be these blocks, there'll be this stage. Oh, I'm sorry, this is not a stage, but it's scripts area. This is the stage and this is the sprites area, and this is all the characteristics of that sprite. So now we'll start off with the basics. Now what is a sprite? Sprite is the number of things that you can see on the stage. Now whatever code you put it right here, and when you do anything, like you start with the events, so it will just trigger, and then it will show all that you have coded here right here. So that's why it's called the stage, because that's exactly where it's going to perform. So sprites are multiple. You can just surprise, you can just add a lot of sprites. Okay, you can just drag them like this. Now if you see, this has x5 and y minus 11. Now I'll tell you what's x and y a bit later, but for now you can just see that it's different, and it's different, minus 11. Now if you see right here, I've just clicked on this cat, and if you see that, then you can see that the x is not 5 but 4, and the y is not minus 11 but minus 2. So every sprites have their own characteristics, and you can just see that it's named sprite 1, but it's bow tie here because obviously it's a bow tie. You can just name this as cat if you like. Okay, so you can just name that. And now what is x and y? So let me show you that by a small example. So you can just see that the backdrops changed. Okay, and while the backdrop is changed, you can just notice some lines, and 240, 0, 180 and all that stuff. So now there is a specific number, or a name for each and every position on this whole stage. Now you can just see that this is y and this is x. So if you know mathematics and you know those graphs, you might know that y is for vertical and x is for horizontal. So now if you move to the right, it increases in number, and if you move to the left, it decreases in number. The x decreases, but the y doesn't change. You can see the y is still 0 until you change that to up or down. So in the center, it's x0 and y0. Now as you move up, the y position will increase, but if you're not moving to the left or the right, the x position will stay the same. Same goes with the x. If you go to the right, the x position will change, but if you don't move up or down, the y position won't change, and it will always be on 0 if you're in the middle. So going up means adding, going down means decreasing. Same for x, going right means adding, and going to the left means subtracting. Now you can see that it's a full rectangle, it's not a square or something. Now the highest point you can go is 180, and over here it's minus 180, but because it's a rectangle and the length is bigger than the breadth, you can just go till 240, and while it's just 180 right here. Now if you want to go diagonal, so the x and y will change both respectively. So that's exactly how it works, and so I guess we'll move on to the next thing. Now if you see, there's this thing right here which shows some characteristics about the specific sprite. So its name's cat, but when I click on this, now it comes as if its name is bowtie. So that's the difference. Now the x and y position is also different, but now if I want it to be in the middle, for example, it just goes in the middle. As you could observe, it just moved from its place. Now if I want it to be right here, I'll let the y be like that, and I'll just change this to minus 240, and boom, it goes right there. Now you can also use these blocks to control the movement of the sprite. This is only if you want to control it by your own self. But while you're running it, you want it to be right here. So there are some specific blocks which allow you to do that. So now same for the bow tie. Okay, so this is the name, this is the x and y. There are these symbols, the horizontal line and the vertical line. And now show hide. So this is also important if you're making a game or animation or something like that. So what is this? Now you could just see, for clear understanding, let me bring it to the middle. Now you can see the cat right now, but if I click this button, it hides. So that's the exact meaning of show and hide. You can just make it show, and you can also make it hide. So that's all about show hide. Now again, you can just use specific blocks to do that, so no worries. Now next is size. Now if you see, this cat's not really big, but if you want it to be like a bit more bigger, you can just change the size. Yeah, you see that's become a lot more bigger than before. You can just experiment with those numbers and get the specific height or size, whatever suits your game or animation or something else. So that's size. You can just type any big number, like I have just typed 5,000, but it will just go to its max amount and then it will stop, because it doesn't allow you to go to 5,000, because or else it would just be so big that everything will mess up, and your project will become laggy. So you can just always put it always as you want. So I'll keep this to this size right here. Also you can change the size with specific blocks again. So everything here pretty much except the name can be changed by specific blocks in it. So you don't have to worry about telling your user to come inside, see the code, and then do this, change this. No, you don't want to do that, right? So that's why this is just for your this. Now what's direction? Direction is in the direction where your sprite points. Now it's pointing right in 90 degrees, if you can see. You can also type in the number, but this is a lot more easier. You can see that it's moving as I'm moving this thing. So it can change using this thing, and it's pretty easy. Now if you want to do something like, when I press the right arrow key, it should look in 90 degrees, and when I press the left arrow key, it should look in minus 90 degrees. But sometimes it happens that it just points like this, so you don't want to do that, right? So the simplest way that you can do that is using these three options. Now the first option is that it can rotate completely around. Okay, now, and the second option is it can rotate only left to right, so that will help a lot. So yeah, and then the third thing is not rotating at all. You can just do anything and it won't rotate, it will just stay at its own position. So it's better to select this always only if no rotation is needed in your sprite. But if it is needed, don't forget to check this thing, so that, or this thing should be particular about your project. So you can just select your option accordingly. So I hope you have understand this until now. Now in costumes, what's there in costumes? You can see the same cat is right here. Now if this head that's selected, I just move this to the right, left. You see that it's moved right here too. So costumes are the main appearance of your sprites. You always want them to look a lot nice and good, because that's the main graphics of your project, and you don't want to be like, oh, very poor graphics, like you don't want that, right? So that's why all this costume is, so you can just pretty much use this. If I now there are several ways of entering a new costume in this thing. Now you can also delete these costumes if you don't like that. Now I'm not going to use this costume, so I'll just delete that. And now the ways of adding new costumes is either you choose from this whole awesome library that Scratch has given us, and you can just choose any costume that you want, which is absolutely amazing. But when you're making kind of professional projects, you just need to draw them yourselves, don't you? So because at that time you just can't take Scratch as your costume provider, or I don't know if there's any such thing like costume provider, but yeah, so you always can't be dependent on the Scratch costume library, because it has a lot of things, but it doesn't have everything that you want. So what you do that is you use the paint option. Now there are several tools here. I'll just discuss them later because I'm on these options right now. And then there's this surprise costume. It will just pick any random costume from the Scratch library. Wait, did I just get an egg? Whoa, well, that's not funny, it is. So yeah, I'm sorry, but there's this surprise. It will just give you any random costume. Now this dragon or dinosaur. So yeah, and then thing is upload costumes. Now what's that is, you may have downloaded a few pictures from the internet about your own costumes. For example, you want a man, a kid, but in the Scratch library there's no kid that you think like, yeah, I want this thing. No, if there's not that, you can just go in the internet, because there are various possibilities of costumes on internet. You can just search that, and yeah, You can search that and you may pick the best boy or kid or whatever you want from that and just save that on your computer. So then you click on this and then a box will appear and then it will just ask you about what file do you want to choose of the photo. So that's also pretty easy. Now if you have webcams in this camera things or webcam in the laptop, you can also take a picture of yours or anything else through this camera. Okay, so they need a permission to use the camera, but you can just change that from here, so no worries. And you can also put a costume with the camera, but the best thing to do is to draw your own costume. Now if you're a beginner and you don't want to get into these things, you can obviously use the Scratch library. It's completely free. So now let's move on with these tools. Now this is the selecting tool. You can just select anything you want. Now for now I haven't drawn anything, so I'll tell you about this select tool a bit later when we draw things using this. So now let's move on to the reshape tool. Now even that needs something to be drawn, so we'll leave that too. Now the paintbrush, you can just draw anything you want. You can just do this. You can, if you want to, okay, you can just increase the width or decrease the width according to your wish. You just draw something like this. I know I'm bad at drawing at computers, but please bear with me. And you can just draw that if you like using this paintbrush too. So now I know that this isn't really convenient at the moment, because it's not convenient because a lot of things can go wrong. So now I'll introduce to a lot more things too. But first, now let me explain you this select tool a bit more. Now you can just select this and you can just move this. Now if you want this right here, you can just move that and no worries, and it will get moved. Okay, so you can just select this. Okay, so if you want this face of the boy right here, and if you don't want all these lines, you just select that and just press delete. Okay, and then you just come with the boy. You can also change the color. If you select this and then you change the color, you can change this color to anything you can imagine. The saturation means how bright your color will be. The brightness means how dark your color will be. And the color obviously means, like, if you want red or pink or purple or blue or green, yellow, orange, red, and a lot more colors. So that's how you do that. Now for the eraser tool. So let me just zoom this out a bit. Okay, you can see that now if I just press this, now this eraser is not like, okay, I just do this and it will get erased. It just erases this part. Okay, so whatever you do, it can used for separating two lines. If you want, just separate these lines. Okay, and yeah, okay, so this reshape tool is used for reshaping things. Now for example, this circle, okay, you see this. Now you don't want this to be perfectly circular, you just want this to be something like this. It looks cool, I guess. So you can just use this reshape tool to reshape anything you want. You can just make it like this. Okay, so there are endless possibilities in this reshape tool. Now I forgot one thing. You can also change the size, okay, of this thing using this pointer tool, select tool, and you can also change the direction. Okay, you want it like this, you can just do that. Pretty easy, right? The next is fill tool. Now that fill tool can be explained. Now you think that okay, if I just select this and then I just click on this, the whole thing will get filled? Nah, because it's vector mode, and in vector mode that's not possible. I'm just clicking right now, clicking, but it's not happening. So I'll tell you after I show you these two tools. Now comes the text tool. You can just select this, you can type anything you want. Okay, so I'll just, yeah. So you can just type and write anything. Okay, whatever you want. You wanna like the boy, okay, and you can just do like that. Now a scratch tip. The scratch tip is, now if you want to make this thing bold, you can just select this with the pointer tool and just increase this. It will become bold, and ta-da! You can also change the font. Okay, you can change this to marquee, handwriting, serif. I know you're not able to see this, but just a second. Okay, you see this? You can just convert this to serif, handwriting, marker, curly, pixel, something. Okay, so I hope you saw that, and that's pretty cool according to me, because the text tool is really important. Next comes the line tool. You can just simply draw lines using this without any interference. You can just draw his body, his hands, okay, his legs, okay, so yeah, it's rough, I know, but, and how to use reshape on this is just click on that, and you can again just see what you want. If you want to make it a curly line, you can do the needful. Okay, now about these two very important tools, circle tool. Okay, let's take a nice little white color. I hope you're able to see, but so I'll just take a gray color. Okay, now you can just make circles using this, and after using the reshape tool, you can just reshape them too. How cool is that, right? Another fact is that this curved and pointed can be useful too. Now you can see there are these two lines sticking out of this circle. Now if you just select on this pointed, it will just become pointed, and this pointed. If I select the curved again, you see that it becomes a big thing. But if I again select the pointed, ta-da! So that's exactly how you use that thing. Pretty cool, right? Yeah, I know, I'm cool. Yeah. Next is the square or rectangle tool. You can do the same with this. If you want to make this like this, you can do exactly how you want to make your costume. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Now you can also write the name of your costume. You can also change the color. I know I have told that. You can change the width of whatever you want. There's undo and redo. Now if I select this and I just want it to be grouped, so I can just do that, and whenever if I touch this, I'll be able to move the whole thing. Now I can also ungroup these if I want just this thing, I want to move only this. So ungroup that. Now if you want these lines to come right in front of this boxy thing, do that. Either click forward or front directly. So that's cool. If you don't want this costume, you can just copy this and then paste this so you get the same thing. You can just delete this if you want using this button, and if you have not selected anything, then warning, everything could get deleted if you press this button. Now if you want this to be flipped horizontally, you can do that simply by this and same for vertical. Now I hope you understood. Now this bitmap thing is always only used for pixels, only pixels things. You can use this and make anything you want. So I hope you understood till here. Now the last thing that we are going to do today is Soundstag. I know it's getting late, it might get up to 30 minutes, but please bear with me. You can view this, I guess. Just see. You saw that? That's so cute. Now again, there are 4 options. Either you can search, either you can record, either you get surprise, or either you upload. Now you know what's upload and surprise, and choose. Now what's record is you can just record with a mic and put your own sounds into this. Record hello. Okay, now I'm really bad, so you just hear that. Record hello. See that? So that's exactly how you do. You can make this faster. Record hello. Okay, and you can
Record hello.
Okay, so that's
Record hello.
You can also mute this
Record hello.
and then fade in. Okay, so that's now. Okay.
Record hello. Record hello.
Okay, so you can just explore these options. Press undo redo to. You can just copy this and then paste this right here.
Record hello. Record.
Okay, copy to new, so you get this another thing, and then this is delete. You can simply use the delete key for that. Now I'm sorry, but I have to take a leave from you guys because it's already too late for today. So I hope you guys already saw and now you know the basics of Scratch. In the next video I'm sure to show you all these blocks and how to use these blocks, what do these blocks mean. But for me, I have done my best. You can just comment down what you think about this tutorial and how it can be improved. Also, don't forget to like, share, subscribe and hit that bell icon so that you never miss any upload of mine. And I'll see you in the next time. Until then, bye-bye.